Welcome to the Black Girl Burnout podcast. Kelley here, and today I'm back with another bonus episode of the podcast. All this month I've been doing what I'm calling little love notes, where I talk about things that have been on my mind or on my heart to say to you, and go back to our old school kind of cadence of 15 minutes or less, bite-sized tips and tools and inspiration to help you navigate your life. So it's Friday. Happy Friday. And as you go into the weekend, I want you to think about something. I want you to think about who's a supporter in your life and who's a gate opener. And the real question is, beneath that, who's really elevating you? So many of us, especially as Black women, are surrounded by love and support and encouragement. But when it comes to actual career elevation, I think we're missing something. Now, shameless plug and throwback to the conversation I had with Shalonda Armstrong a few weeks ago. If you haven't checked out that episode, check it out. Shalonda's a venture capitalist who we sat down and had a profound conversation about the tools and skills that we think Black women need to be successful as entrepreneurs, but just successful as professionals. And one of those was talking about people who can put you on, so to speak, right? That there are people in this world who can really get you to the next level. And my personal belief is that oftentimes I think we do not know the difference between a supporter or a gate opener. And so to me, supporters are the people who cheer you on. Gate openers really open doors to opportunity. So I want to spend the next couple minutes talking about and defining, doing a deep dive on what a supporter is, who a gate opener or elevator is, how we might be accidentally mistaking the two, and some practical tools and tips and an exercise that you can do to get you on track to getting yourself to the next level in your career. That's whether you're an entrepreneur or a corporate gal. It will not matter. These tips and tools work. And I don't say this arrogantly, but as someone who has two businesses and has been able to build some substantial income in at least one of them, as you all know, podcasting out here is magical. But I think I'm really poised to help you. As someone who's worked in corporate and is now a full-time entrepreneur, I feel really poised to help you on this because this was the key to both my success in corporate and in government and my success as an entrepreneur. So let's give a couple minutes, set your Friday up right, close out the week with some reflection on who is a supporter, who is a gate opener, and how you can get more elevation in your career. So let's start off with who a supporter is. This one's pretty easy and common to figure out. Supporters are your cheerleaders. They're the friends, the peers, the colleagues who affirm, listen, and encourage. They're the people that you talk to at happy hour or you talk to by the metaphorical water cooler at your job. They help sustain your professional journey, right? You are struggling. You're in a month or a season of discomfort, or maybe you're having the best time ever. They're also the people who are like cheer you on when you get the promotion or where you close a deal. These folks are in your corner, ready to support you in any direction your career is going. They may also give you really good advice too sometimes, right? They may be the people who are like, yeah, girl, don't send that email. You run day-to-day decisions by them or day-to-day challenges. Their limitation is, however, that they are not people who can necessarily advance your career. They're not people who are in HR who make decisions or can put your resume forward or say yes to your contract proposal. There are people who can maybe look over your contract proposal, but they're not necessarily people who are going to be able to get you the said contract. So for me, what that looked like is in my last role in government, I was really respected and liked by a section of people. I wouldn't say everybody. I had some haters, but that's a story for another time. But I would say of the really amazing people I worked with, and there were some incredibly amazing people, a lot of them were in the supporter category. They were peers that may have liked me and supported me and really saw the vision of what I was trying to build, but couldn't get me the meeting with the executive that I need to get with, couldn't get me a higher percentage rate on my performance plan or my performance review. They couldn't promote me. Now we could support each other, but none of us could put each other on. And I'm a firm believer of the fact that you cannot put others on until you are put on yourself. And this is something that I say as a mantra to myself critically because I needed to hear it. I spent a lot of time trying to put people on from a position of no power, and it was frustrating for both me and the person I was trying to put on. Now I know better. Now I'm like, girl, get your life right, get your money right, get all the things in order so you can then turn around and give back. And oftentimes, people in that category with you who are also trying to put themselves on, try to get going, try to do the things, they are your supporters. So, supporters are friends, peers, families, colleagues who affirm, they listen, and they encourage. Then there are people I'm calling gate openers. And I'm choosing the phrase gate opener because it is the opposite of a gatekeeper. And we are really good at recognizing gatekeepers. They are everywhere, every which direction. They are people with power or with access to power that intentionally shut the door on you or intentionally keep the door shut so only 1 to 2 people can get through at a time. Gate openers, on the other hand, are people who create opportunity or promote you or put you through. But the most key distinction here is that they are often people in power. Think about executives or decision makers or leaders. They may not always be in your immediate vicinity or like department or peers in your entrepreneurial journey, but they're the ones that have the authority to shape opportunities, budgets, and positions. So it may not be directly your boss, but it could be your boss's peer who's making a decision in another department. Or it may not be the exact person that's a CEO of a company you want to pitch to or have a proposal with, but it could be the chief executive officer of HR who is going to be the one that can convince that leader, yeah, we need to hire Kelley. Like, she's the person we need to hire. And they're going to say, yeah, I trust your judgment. Go ahead and hire her. These folks open doors and create space for your advancement. And it's a very specific role they play. And in true transparency, as I always am with you all, there's probably less of them, but they exist in every single company. I promise you, there is someone in a company that is a gate opener. They do not seek to create barriers, they seek to reduce them. So when we talk about constipation, bloating, heaviness, sluggishness, these aren't just random symptoms. They're actually your gut's way of telling you something's off. Look, I'm going to be real with you. As a podcaster and a consultant and a writer, I'm always on the go. And I have struggled for years to maintain my energy, to really keep myself kind of together with bloating around my cycle, all the things you can think of. This is where Oxy Powder from Global Healing came in. Oxy Powder isn't just another cleanse or a quick fix. It's a targeted oxygen-based formula that gently and safely breaks down and flushes out waste and toxins that build up in your gut over time. I take it at night, and by the morning, I'm feeling lighter and clearer, just better. Oxy Powder is easy to take, and because of that, it's become a staple in my routine. And I'm not the only one. A consumer study showed incredible results. 95% said that it relieved constipation, 87% said it felt relief from bloating, and a massive 95% said they would use it again, with 93% recommending it to a friend. If you're tired of feeling weighed down, trust me on this. Head over to globalhealing.com/heal and try Oxy Powder for 20% off. You'll thank me later. That's globalhealing.com/heal. For example, in my case, I had a lot of, like I said, I had a subsection of strong supporters, people who really valued my work. But ultimately, my supporters never got me any of my promotions or any of my pay increases. What it came down to is the head of the agency that I previously worked at came to really appreciate and value who I was, to the point where they're like, what's going on? Why isn't this person appropriately matched to her skill level? Why is she not a director? It was his realization and his energy around that discovery that got me my promotion, that brought me to the C suite level. And it was me nurturing that relationship with intention, not with manipulation. I genuinely enjoyed my last boss. He was fantastic, but it was with intention, by offering value and learning how decisions got made. Being able to determine that he was a gate opener, one, by his personality. The head of the agency was very open. I would find him very open in meetings. He was very willing to look at a situation a different way than typically he had in the past. And he was really invested in merit in the truest sense, in seeing everybody who was good at what they did deserved to be compensated and appropriately title matched to it. He really passionately believed in that. And so that left a door open for me to show my merit, to show my innovative approach to different things, particularly the program I was leading. And that's how he became a critical gate opener. He was also someone who was very honest about telling me what entrepreneurship looks like and what some of the pitfalls can be out there for those of us who are taking on that journey. That one relationship with a gate opener changed my life. And that's the power of a gate opener that often gets missed or neglected. There are fewer gate openers in the world, for sure. But one truly powerful gate opener can change your life. And that is why I want to stop you from having the common trap of mistaking your cheerleaders, your supporters, for gate openers or elevators. They are not the same. And oftentimes, when I've seen people not elevate to where they want to be in their careers, it is often because they spend more time with their supporters than strategically thinking about their gate openers. They think more about venting or discussing things with their peers, and they spend very little time strategically thinking about who actually can put me on. The hard truth is you need both, but for different roles. You need both. I'm going to say it one more time. You need both, but for different roles. So this isn't me telling you don't have peers, don't have supporters. This is me telling you that they're both incredible and needed, but you also need gate openers. Supporters sustain you. Gate openers elevate you. And you need both. So, what does that mean in practice? And what is the elephant in the room that I may not be addressing? I'm always shoot straight to y'all and be honest. In my experience, supporters tend to be other Black women and other women in general. The most nurtured and supported I have ever felt has been in the company of Black women. And my first boss, when I came into my last government job, my last government/corporate job, that boss was a Black woman. That Black woman was so phenomenal. She supported me. She fought for me to be hired at the agency. She kept giving her information in and saying what she needed to say. She helped me navigate behind the scenes. She'd say, okay, this is who this person is. And, make sure you present this way to them. She really helped me and shaped me professionally. She was a safe space for me to vent. And she really cheered every time I moved up the ladder, so to speak. She was the biggest supporter I ever had. And I owe many elements of my career to her. And as an entrepreneur, I still go to her when I'm thinking about a proposal. I'm like, what do you think about this? She is a ride or die, and she is a phenomenal woman. That's the power of a supporter. But the other truth is, many times the people who are gatekeepers and gate openers look the same. The biggest gate openers in my career have been men. And to the point, and bluntly, they have been white men. Gate openers don't necessarily have a demographic. I want to be clear about that. But let's be honest about the reality of the world we're in. Gate openers are people who have power, executives and above. And the majority, demographically, at least in Western world and certainly in America, are white men. And sometimes white women. When I talked to my chief supporter, I told you about that Black woman who changed my career and made it so rich. She told me a story about how she got put on to being a division director. It was a white woman in power. Again, her gate opener did not look like her. But that did not matter because she had also surrounded herself with supporters who did. And my goal is to one day be at a place where I am a gate opener. And in some small ways I am, but not really. I want to change the face and the demographic of who a gate opener is. But I want to change that face without ignoring the present reality. That's where I want to be in the future. But the reality is this is where we are now. And I know it's a controversial opinion, but y'all, I'm here to tell the truth and my truth from my perspective. And I just want to help y'all out. That's just what I've observed and who's helped me. Every step of the way, it has been, in my experience, a white man who's made a difference in my career as far as a gate opener. But the most nourishing relationships I've had in the workplace have all been women, and a lot of them women of color. So I implore you to think about who in your life is a supporter and who in your life could be a gate opener. And that's your homework if you want to take some time to reflect, which is to write down your supporters. Who are the people you vent to? They can be of any gender, really, any demographic. List it out. List out the people in your life, the coworkers, the friends and the peers, your partner, your family members who cheer you on, who you can count on for support. And then write down who are the people that can elevate and open doors and gates for you. Most of us have a lot of supporters. Very few of us have gate openers. And I want you to notice that gap. And then I want to give you, as I close out this episode, I don't want to just leave you there being like, well, that's great. I don't know a lot of gate openers. What do you want from me? I want to give you tips on how to begin to determine who could be that gate opener. Here's 4 things to consider. 1, who are the decision makers in your orbit? Who are people you have a loose relationship with, even outside of your direct team, that make decisions? Maybe they don't make decisions for you, but they are decision makers in general. Intentionally build a relationship with them. This is the second tip, where you can figure out what they value and how they make decisions. Get into the mind of a gate opener. What is the thing that makes them open the door, open the gate for others? Look for ways to provide value. That's my third tip for you. Once you know how these folks are thinking and you've identified who they are, figure out how to provide value and get their attention. Solve a problem, take ownership of a project, contribute some insight that's memorable. And then lastly, nurture the relationship slowly. I am not out here advocating some Machiavellian, bizarre, be sneaky way to advance. That's not what I'm about. I'm about moving with integrity. So nurturing these relationships is about providing value, doing your job and doing it well. That's step 1. We're not creating transactional relationships because those don't hold up. But we do want to create relationships that are grounded in respect and shared goals. My gate openers are not my best friends. I am not calling them every Tuesday because I'm having a bad day, but they are people that I deeply respect, or I wouldn't even bother going to them and looking to them for their help. So Think about who your supporters are, who are your gate openers, and where can you build new relationships with decision makers. You deserve the career of your dreams. Think of this episode as just one small reminder or one small step you can take to opting out of that struggle in the professional realm of your life and opting into some more joy. Okay, that was today's love note. That was the bonus episode. You all know how to connect with me. It's at Black Girl Burnout across all the platforms. Find me there, say hello. Substack is popping off. We're about to be 10,000 subscribers, which is insane on Substack in 6 months. Come join me on Substack and see what all the fuss is about. And if you want to support my work and directly support the podcast, the quickest way to do that is a subscription to Substack. It's $8 a month, and I drop weekly tips and tools just for subscribers. Okay, y'all. Until next week's episode, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and rest well.